I want to go show you how to use Zoom as your video recording tool. It's a similar process to when you would do a live broadcast of your slideshow, but you can actually set it up so that it makes a recording, and you can generate video content that you can then edit and cut and mix and post and do all those things that we do with our videos. So let's get started. So what we need to do first is open a Zoom meeting. So you see I have my Zoom window open here. And if I now click on new meeting, I can see that my face shows up here. I can join with computer audio. So this is a totally fake meeting. I'm not going to invite anybody. I'm just going to do my own presentation and record the contents. So once I have the meeting open, then I can go to screen share and I can pick the window that I want to share from. So I have a keynote talk here. You can see that's ready to go. And now I've selected that window with the keynote presentation inside it, and you can see it's sort of chopped off and look kind of crappy. But that doesn't matter because I'm going to go to play mode, and then it will take over the entire screen. And in the upper corner, I can still see myself in a small window. I can actually, if I'm careful here, I can open that window up a little bit, and it seems to have some effect on the final product that you get from this capturing through Zoom. And you cannot move this window in the capture. So I can move this window around here in real time all I want, but it doesn't change the fact that it will always be captured up in that corner. So it's probably good to leave it up there because then I have some visual reference and see if my face obscures some content of the slide or something like that. So now on the top you see an important set of controls here. These are all the different controls for Zoom that you see when you do a live presentation. Now you'll also see that there's a More button. If you go onto the More button, then you can record. If you have a Pro account, you can record to the cloud. All that means is that the content is sent up to the cloud and is saved there for you, and then they send you an email when the conversion into a standard file format is complete. If you have a regular account, you'll have to save on your computer, and that's what we'll do tonight. We'll record on this computer, and we'll see that the same conversion process is needed for that sort of recording as well. So let's press record on the computer, and you can see it's now recording. You can see there's a red button flashing up here at the top of the screen, and so we're actually recording live right now. And so I can go ahead now and carry out my presentation. I can advance my slides just like I normally would. And you'll notice the screen looks obscured, or at least the titles look obscured at the top here. And don't worry too much about that. It could be that my face obscures things we'll see in the final product, whether I made it a little too big or not. But all this menu stuff at the top will disappear. So that won't be in the final product that you actually capture. And now you can move ahead with the slides, show the content, give your presentation, advance them just like you normally would with the arrow keys or remote control, and just walk through your slides just like we did in class. And when you're done, when you decide, okay, I've finished my slide presentation and it's ready for me to stop, then I can go to the More button and stop the recording. Of course, when I do this, the recording that we save will also stop. So you have to make sure you pick the right moment for that. So if we go to More again and say stop recording, now it stops. And at this point, nothing more happens. The recording is saved in a format that's Zoom specific, and only when we end the Zoom meeting does that conversion process actually begin. So don't worry. In the meantime, now we can stop sharing our screen, go back to the regular screen we have, hit the exit button or whatever we do, and then we're back to the screen just as we had it before, all cluttered and messy with whatever we have there. And that's how you can save the recording. Now let's go back to the Zoom meeting, which is open here, and we see the Zoom meeting still going on. Let me move my face up here out of the way a little bit. and you can see that I have to end the meeting. So if I press the end meeting button, it will confirm with me that I really do want to end the meeting. I say end meeting for all, and then you'll see a window pop up that says it's converting the meeting recording. And so this process is pretty quick. As you see here, it'll be a function of what sort of computer you have and how long the recording is. But it will generate a set of files that you can then manipulate. As I say, the initial files it saves are in a Zoom specific format that you can't really use for anything. But as soon as it finishes with a conversion, you see it's getting close here, it will actually automatically open a window, as you see right here, and that's the folder that contains the recording we just made. And you can see a whole bunch of other folders from recordings that I made today. And now if you look here, there are some files in this directory. This bottom one is an MP4 file. That's the complete video and audio file, and that's the product of this recording. And that, as I say, you can upload or manipulate or edit or do whatever you'd like with. Okay, so now let's have a look at what we produced. We'll have a look at the video, and we'll see what it looks like. And we can launch it in QuickTime or any other video playback software you have, and we can have a quick check through it and watch what happened. And you can see it's now recording. You can see there's a red button flashing up here at the top of the screen, and so we're actually recording live right now. And so I can go ahead now and carry out my presentation. I can advance my slides just like I normally would. And you'll notice the screen looks obscured, or at least the titles look obscured at the top here. And don't worry too much about that. It could be that my face obscures things. We'll see in the final product whether I made it a little too big or not. But all this menu stuff at the top will disappear. So that won't be in the final product that you actually capture. And now, as we predicted, there is a problem with the little picture of my face in the upper right corner of the image, and it looks like that did obscure some of the titles. And again, trial and error is all that will tell us how to handle that problem. It's easy to fix. We simply move the titles over and make sure we leave a little bit of space in that corner so that the floating head actually isn't in the way of anything important. But we do see that all the Zoom items, all the controls for the Zoom functionality, the starting and stopping of the recording, those all did disappear just as I promised, and the Zoom recording doesn't actually contain that content. So it's very clean from that perspective. And now you can move ahead with the slides, show the content, give your presentation, advance them just like you normally would with the arrow keys or remote control, and just walk through your slides just like we did in class. And when you're done, when you decide, okay, I've finished my slide presentation and it's ready for me to stop, then I can go to the More button and stop the recording. Of course, when I do this, the recording that we save will also stop. So you have to make sure you pick the right moment for that. So if we go to More again and say Stop. Okay, so that wraps up the recording process that I've just been able to show you. You saw the finished product. It ended kind of abruptly there because when you stop recording, it stops right on the spot. So make sure to add some extra footage if you want to make any transitions or do any fades or any of those sort of nice things in any post-processing imaging. But with that, you should be able to both make your own video and picture how you're going to set up your own presentation that we'll look forward to seeing soon.